Howdy, howdy, FrostyFire10 here with a quick, hopefully quick, review of WUCHANG Fallen Feathers. I got a bad ending, so that won't colour the review too much, but I'm just going to say that look up a guide if you want good endings. um, you're going to need a guide. It's not a game that is terribly straightforward with its story and NPC interactions. So you're going to be a little bit confused unless you're like really, really good at paying attention and reading things and just taking that extra step of comprehension. Otherwise, though, it's a great game, honestly. With lots of exploration, lots of interconnected areas. You go over there and you go over there and all that stuff. And I think the combat's really good. And there's a whole bunch of different weapons that are all interesting, and they do have different function. And yeah, the stats are good. You level up all your weapons at once, like with the skill tree and all that sort of stuff. It's, I think, well designed. In all honesty, the boss rewards give you upgrades for your healing flask and all the jazz, all the normal stuff you'd expect, but at the same time with its own flavor. Ambushes, enemies jumping on you and attacking you, and all that sort of fun stuff. Interesting environments and scary, sort of off-putting environments. Many enemies. Birds you can attack if you don't like the sound of their chirping. Varied enemy variety is good. It's each area. I mean, there's a couple sort of constants, but they go away as you go to new areas and you go, oh, there's a whole bunch of new enemies, and then a whole bunch of big enemies, like, oh my goodness, and you're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Oh, that's what I need to do. Actually, let's do this. And I don't regret buying it. I don't regret buying the deluxe edition. This is what I got, because I did use some of those outfits. Even later on, I found them useful, because they got some good resistances for... There are areas where, like, you're constantly barraged by, like, a status effect. Like a snow one where you're getting frozen, and you just gotta have some soup and you'll be fine. I'm in New Game Plus, so I'm like super strong. And getting like +1s of things, and they've got all that stuff sorted. So you're not getting treated like Elden Ring, where New Game Plus, they just sort of do nothing of any value, and it's honestly some of the shittiest game design you've ever seen in your life. But it's kind of like, it's not that big a deal because the original game is so good. But it's like they could have put in a little more effort. They could still put in effort now. I feel like FromSoft could learn a lot from its competitors. I mean, the alternate Souls-like titles have got a whole bunch of quality of life innovations that FromSoft could definitely adopt and would improve their games immediately. Even this one has things you could grab from other games. Okay. Okay, before I do anything that changes the story, I need to look up the story. I haven't looked up a guide. I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, I didn't really stumble into the bad ending. I could see it coming a little bit, but the alternate good endings, I couldn't see them coming because I didn't resolve the NPC quests. Some of them guys missed crucial little bits of information which would have led to resolutions that give me alternate options for better endings. But yeah, enough about me. Will you enjoy the game? I found it very difficult once I decided that I wouldn't use the axe. So basically, the axe is like stupid. It's like they're like stupid. Like the big heavy swinging weapon that knocks enemies off their feet and has very, 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 very effective against bosses and everything. It's just so good. The axes are so good. If you ever have any trouble in this game, you can just use an axe and you will be perfectly fine. You get one very early on, the halberd, and it's just crazy strong. So as soon as I switched away from the axe, and I switched over to the, where are they? The firearm blades. Then it was a totally different game. So just bear in mind that the axe is incredibly OP. And, you know, when you're hearing people say, oh, the game was easy, I ran through the whole thing really fast in 30 hours, they use the axe. Or they're really, really good at the game and use dual blades. I will say, if you use dual blades, you're really good at the game. That's like guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. Some enemies, the dual blades are not very effective at all. But every enemy in the entire game, the axe is effective against. So it's like, it's one of those things. The spear apparently is very slow. I didn't try it out. I wasn't interested in the spear because I played Berserker Kazan and did spear there. So it's like, there's no point using a spear anymore because I'd used it a lot. And Berserker Kazan is like... Okay. Yep, that was very nice of you, buddy. So as you attack, you build up feathering, depending on what skills you've got on your skill tree and what sort of attacks build it up for you. For me, it's just light attack combo. So my most basic attack, I went through the whole game doing just light attacks. And building up feathering, and then using my weapon's special ability, which alternatively you can slot in a discipline ability, which can be really effective. I'm not going to talk to that guy. I don't care about him. I don't think I can open this from this side, can I? Yeah, that's later. So much interconnected parts of the map and things to find and pendants to find, and the gearing. You've got a transmog system. You can change how things look. You can put like this on and they'll be like scary looking. You can do all sorts, and you don't lose the stats of the weapon you got on. You can wear any clothing that you find, and there's plenty of interesting options. Oh, stupid dogs. Yes, it's another game where you kill dogs. Every game now has dog killing as a mandatory aspect. I don't really understand why. It's a little weird, but in modern gaming, it's like a requirement that you kill dogs, basically. But they have like despair dogs too. That like if their status effect gets you, you die instantly. Death blight, basically. So if you're on the fence, okay. See, look at that. Look at that shit. Don't worry, he's one of the Oh, you die. He's like a special enemy. You never see these guys again. The fire breathing versions. Where is it? It's over here, isn't it? Bam! Okay, so now we have... Wait, they're not better? They're not +1? Okay, well. Oh. Well, there's no point picking up... I suppose I could slot it in the other side. And then when you do like the switch thing, which I never did this entire run. There's a thing you can do where you switch weapon and do a special attack. But I never did it for the entire game. So yeah, you can ignore game mechanics and just keep going. There's magic in the game as well, which is pretty cool. One of the bosses I used magic for because my dual blades wasn't effective at all, and it just couldn't hit the damn enemy. So it was like just using the most basic spell was much more effective. There's huge amounts of shortcuts. There is some run back if you make mistakes. You do get punished a bit. So I I recommend just being good at not dying. You get huge amounts of heals. Like lots and lots and lots and lots of heals everywhere. So I think use your heals. You get a bunch of different heals. The main one you get is the Steam Bunny Bun. And it just gives you like a gradual heal. So kill dogs, eat bunnies. Open up shortcuts. Get back to your shrines. And you can do the whole... Well, like this. See? Wear different outfits. Like you got a whole bunch of different ones. I'm not going to do that, no. And here's the skill tree. So this is... Each weapon has their own skill tree. So if you choose to use axe, you go on this one. This is dual blades. I'm on the other ones now because I'm just getting the stats from them. Because you can get... I'll show you. You can get like extra vitality. The status is all from the tree. So it's not like you pick... Like I want to level up vitality. Every level I put it once per stat in vitality. It's not like that at all. You pick them off the tree. Some of them you can get like 3 points. So just be aware that as you go, your damage will increase when you get mastery. So to get mastery, you need to find feathers. And certain enemies drop them, and then you need higher versions of them, higher tier of feather to get the next rank and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, just keep an eye out for feathers. And then I've gone onto these other trees because I'm grabbing like big 5+ of a stat as opposed to just 1+. So you do want to look for these special nodes which give you way more stats. My stats are okay. 54 agility, 29 strength. I have strength and agility on the weapon, and then I got 45 vitality and 30 endurance plus. So every level, every stat you increase, you obviously get defensives, which is where the armor is very important. It is key that you change for certain bosses depending on what sort of damage they're doing. It helps a lot to switch your armor out, and just you can change how it looks. So there's nothing to worry about in terms of you losing your style points. And there's like I want to show you this area just to give you like a taste. There is above ground, nighttime, daytime areas, and then there's like in caves there's places full of evil. See, now I got corruption. And I gotta go bam. Where are it? There we go. You get a lot of cures for the status element that is inflicted by a zone at times. That's prevalent. So here we got like a full like scary interconnected tunnels situation. So yeah, there's lots of sort of the variance in environment and oh goddamn, why are you brought me again? And yeah, I've got all the boss fights on my channel if you want to see some boss fights. Obviously spoilers and all that, but I'm uploading them slowly, so you know by the time this is out, they'll all be out. But you know, yeah, I think I think you won't be too distracted by the outfits and stuff most of the time. Like you'll be focusing on winning fights and getting stronger and all that. You know, secondary is that, you know, you got boobs, basically. Secondary is that you could wear all sorts of different clothes. Oh, yeah, we got... so, yeah. It is what it is. Human body and all that. I do think the blue pants look good, though. Like, he definitely, like, changed the top. I got, like, that one and, like, so you got, like, more normal bandit kit. I'm, like, spoiling outfits now. Okay, I gotta stop, Last one. Yep. One thing I will say is that your main protagonist, WUCHANG, she does not speak throughout the entire game. So there is a little bit lacking, I feel like, story-wise because she doesn't speak. and I think it would be better if she did. That's my one criticism of the game. And like, I do feel like the story is a bit hard to follow, or at least hard for me to follow. And I feel like it took away some of the emotional weight when it's kind of a bit confusing. Alright, enough of the outfits. There we go. See? Yeah. Alright. That'll do. It's a whole bunch of, items and all sorts of stuff, and outfits and weapons and spells, huge amounts of spells. And like your discipline things, discipline and your weapon stuff you can slot in. So you can put 3 different slots, and you got your temperance. Because you can add an effect to your weapon, just like a lot of the more recent games like the grinds in Lies of P. You can add like different effects. This one is just you rest at a shrine, it comes back. You can choose what effect you want. And, so it's the same system, really, as Lies of P when it comes to that. There is a lot of familiar stuff, but at the same time, it's a different world. It's a new Souls-like, and I think it's pretty good. It's a bit longer than I'd thought, honestly. I had some trouble with bosses, like a lot of trouble. Which you can see on my streams, and I swore a lot and carried on like a baby. And yeah, don't do that. If you're having trouble, you can always whistle, and you can summon a buddy to assist you. It doesn't always help a whole lot, but it's nice to have that emotional support. Alright, I'll show you this one. Okay. Yeah, alright, so this is PlayStation 5 performance. I had a little bit of stuttering, like kind of like just a freeze, not occasionally, very rarely, and it happened in, I think, twice in boss fights, where it just, but then I wasn't punished for it, so it wasn't like the enemy was moving while I wasn't moving, we just both froze for a second. I expect the performance is better on PS5 Pro, I assume. I'm on base PS5, so it is what it is there, but generally pretty damn good. I have no real complaints. It's only just like loading between areas. As like you go from one section to another section, there are, it's an interconnected world. So to make you feel like you can just go through everything, but it still needs to load, They've still got to load the items and enemies and things. So there will be that little bit of, little hitch, just as things load, which you can totally understand as reasonable human beings. Okay, that's a weird outfit. Yeah. Yep. So you think you won't be distracted by the main character, but you won't be. You'll be focusing on killing enemies, killing bosses, and exploring the world and finding items and unlocking shortcuts. And trying to avoid terrible runbacks, because they can happen. They happen to me, if you're not careful. Yeah. I do recommend the game. I think if you wait for a sale, you're absolutely getting a bargain, and you'll be very happy. I generally recommend that with single player games, because it does no online multiplayer. It's just a single player Souls-like game. Any single player game, I think you can just wait and just get it cheaper. But I don't think you'd be too upset if you buy it at full price, because even it's still cheaper than most modern games that come out. So I think they've done a really good job, and it's the kind of thing where I feel if they make another game, it'll be even better. If they learn the lessons and they just develop the story better. If they make the story more coherent and emotionally engaging, I think it can be it could really go up, honestly. But yeah, that's what I think. I'm FrostyFire10, like and subscribe. Tell me you agree, disagree, or whatever. You had a fun time. If you used axe and you felt the game was easy, then like, yeah, of course it was. The axe is just that strong. If you use dual blades though, you're really cool. And like, you know, yeah, you're cool. Alright. Catch you later. Bye bye. Great game. Bye.